Jorge, we're online.
Hello, Raúl.
Hey, muchacho, ¿cómo estás?
I'm really happy to be with you again. Thank you for inviting me again to your podcast. I think we have so much to share with your audience, so hopefully it's another valuable episode.
Yeah, man. Last time when you spoke to me about climate change, I was just telling everybody that even though I knew climate change is a problem, when you explained it to me, I really understood the whole, gravity of the situation. It's kind of scary to be honest. And I don't want to scare people more, but keeping that in mind and continuing with the trend, I wanted to talk to you about the other crisis. I don't know if it's already a crisis or it's an impending crisis, but we're going to talk about the water scarcity, and that's really scary because it's water. So yeah, man, if you don't mind, can I start asking you questions already?
Absolutely, and just for the record, people, please do not I know that we all feel scared about these topics, but this is why we have to talk with the truth, so we can understand that the time to act is now. So no time to be afraid because the fear paralyzes. It's time to feel motivated to do something about it. So let's start motivated.
Yeah, fear paralysis. You're right, man. That's right. Absolutely. Well, let's go start. Let's talk about why water is a problem. Why is it a problem? We're surrounded by the earth is majority. It's a 70% water, right? It's all oceans. Why is water a problem, man?
That is a very good question. I guess we got it wrong when we named our own planet because we didn't know, and someone said, "Well, this is planet Earth."
Yeah.
When actually, now looking at it from outside of the planet, from our satellites, and we see all this blue sphere, we should have called it planet water. That would be way more accurate because 71% of the planet content is water, is liquid. Actually, the Earth is just a little layer under. There's more magma, which is just like lava, which is fluid.
Yeah.
So this is a fluid planet. This is not an Earth solid planet. So anyway, the name is now on us, planet Earth. But it really water accounts for 2/3 of it, right? 71%. And very interestingly, something that the audience needs to understand is that the planet will never, ever run out of water.
Okay.
There is not such thing as lack of water because we have 326 million trillions of liters of water in the planet. And those are exactly the same from the beginning of the existence of water till the day of today. So to put it in perspective, the water that the dinosaurs were drinking is the water that we drink, and is a water that in 1 million years, whoever is alive is going to be drinking, right? So there's not a problem of we're running out of water. That is not the issue. The issue is the access to the water that we can use as humans, right? So from the 100% of water in this planet, 97% is too salty. This is pretty much the oceans. From the other 3%, 2% is iced. It is frozen in the caps. So that leaves us with less than 1% of fresh water available for human consumption. And this less than 1% is the lakes, the rivers, and the underground water. Okay? So it is very important to understand that even if we have plenty of water, most of the water is not accessible to us, right? So it is very important to have this in mind because when you think about it, then the fact that there's plenty does not mean that you should waste it.
Yeah.
Right? And this is the trend that we have in our minds is like, oh, if there is plenty, I can see a lot of water, then I should do whatever I want with it. And it is not like that. So just to framework the conversation around that. And also the other reason because we should care about water. It's not only because it's really scarce for our own consumption and well-being. It is also because it's a very magical uh, composition. I don't know. It's an element that you will. It's just out of this world. Ironically, there's no water out of this world that we know, but it is really interesting how water behaves. It's like nothing else in this planet or universe known by us. So one of those things is, for example, that water can present itself in three different states of the matter. So it can be solid, it can be liquid, and it can be a gas.
Correct. Yeah.
And there are other things that do also the same thing, but water is the only one that can float in a solid state when it is in its own element in a liquid.
You're right,
so
like the icebergs.
Exactly, like the icebergs.
Yeah.
But if you melt gold and you make it a liquid, and then you have a bar of gold and you drop it into the liquid gold, it will sink.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
An element in different states, but it will not float. Water is the only one that can change the structure chemically and get floating on its own element, which is impressive.
That is.
Also, we're obsessed with water as humans, not only because it's a vital liquid, but also because we want to solve everything with water. Probably you haven't noticed it, but believe me, we try to solve everything with water. If you have a drop of mustard on your shirt, what do?
Yeah, you take dab it with like a wet cloth, or put some water there and try to rub it off.
To put some water there to correct it, right? If you are too hot, what do?
Yeah, splash some water on your face, drink some water. Similar, yeah.
If you're sick, what do?
If you're sick, yeah, definitely water. Yeah, everything. Water is the solution, man. Water is life. Your body is water, mostly.
We are bags of water walking around the earth.
That's why when there's if there's a change in lunar activity, they say people's moods change, because like if the moon, the gravity of the moon can move tides in the sea, it can also have an effect on your body, because your body is water. So that's why people have horoscopes based on the lunar activity, and their behavior changes. And at least in India, especially, people wear those rings and stuff. It is to counter the activity of moon's gravity on your behavior, because of gravity. So water is everything. We are water, like you said. We are water.
We are water.
Yeah.
And water is vital for all life forms on Earth. So this is an incredible. It's just H2O. It's just two elements, hydrogen and oxygen.
Yeah. Correct.
But this arrangement and composition makes water so special. So just by the sake of knowing that it's a very incredible, magical, precious element, it's worth looking after it and venerate it, like many other religions or spirituality capabilities. It is attributed to water. For example, in Africa, they have and Afro-Caribbean countries, like Cuba, or influences of Africa in Brazil, they have all these gods like Yamaya, that it's also a spiritual attribute to water, where water is perceived as a female, and she will wash out your problems, she will revitalize you, like everything gets better when it's next to water, right? So very, very interesting, all these concepts around water for our well-being.